Hey guys, Kelade here. With patch 7.3 already upon us, and with the Netherlight Crucible coming out relatively soon, I wanted to go over exactly how much DPS you guys should be expecting and what traits you guys should be picking in both your Shadow versus Light, and also what relic slots you should be picking for your second relics within, all of your relics, either as Fire, Iron, or Storm. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about in regards to the Netherlight Crucible, you guys can check out my video that I've made previously regarding this that shows you exactly what traits you can get and exactly what artifact power you need to unlock every single trait within the Netherlight Crucible. Now, just to recap really quick, here's all the different artifact levels you need to be to unlock every single row of choices and traits within the Netherlight Crucible. You guys will see the top 3 traits for all the relic slots don't have any artifact power requirement on them, and that's because the instant that you unlock the Netherlight Crucible, you'll have access to all 3 traits. Each of these traits within your Fire, Storm, or Iron relic will all give you +5 weapon eye levels for each trait. And here on the screen, you guys can see the sims on the trait. So live, of course, is my character currently on live, and Netherlight Fortification is the name of the trait. So with just 1 point, which is +5 eye levels, you guys can see the DPS increase, with 2, with 3. You guys can see that with all 3 traits, which happens right as you unlock your Netherlight Crucible, I'm actually gaining 90,000 DPS right off the bat. So it's very crucial that the instant that the Netherlight Crucible is available to you, you try to unlock it and place these +5 eye level points into all of your traits. That way you get the free 15 eye levels on your weapon. Now, in regards to the second row of traits, which unlocks at artifact power levels 60, 63, and 66. Here are how all the DPS 1 sims. Now, there are 2 light traits that have some shielding and healing factors that go into it. Of course, those provide 0 DPS, so those 2 traits are not included. The current sims that you see on the screen are with only the traits that actually provide you with some form of DPS to your character. Now, realistically, when the Netherlight Crucible first comes out, you'll probably be around 66 artifact power, maybe less, maybe more, but I think for the majority of people, if you've been keeping up the artifact power and putting it all into your main, you could be reaching 66, at least 63. So you'll have access to at least, 2 or 3 of all of these, light versus shadow traits. So of course, the traits that are going to be better or worse for you definitely depends on what your current stat weights are. So right here, Master of Shadows for me is the highest trait. And that's just because for me on my current character, Mastery is slightly higher than Haste, which is light speed. You guys can see in third. And also Merge and Intent and Versatility. But with that being said, I think for most DPS classes, the flat stat increases, whether it's a Mastery or the Haste, or if it's the Versatility with Concordance procs, those 3 are generally going to be the best traits for most DPS classes and probably most other classes too, just because it's a flat rate, a flat stat that you get, and the procs are kind of iffy and more subject to RNG. But hopefully this list should help give you guys an idea of which 2 traits you guys should be picking within the second row of traits. Now, of course, what trait that you guys pick here definitely should be influenced by, of course, what happens in your third row of relics, which unlocks our artifact power levels 69, 72, and 75. So essentially, right, the end goal for Netherlight Crucible is to hit artifact 75 as fast as possible, because that's when you're going to unlock, all 3 secondary relic slots for, your Fire, Storm, and Iron relics. And then to also help you guys with that, I've also simmed all of the different DPS relics. Now, of course, you could get Blood Craze or Battle Scars as a relic down here. Any of your relics that could show up on, just a normal relic can show up here, with the only exception being, whatever original relic it started with, that obviously cannot show up here. So if you currently have a Battlecry relic, there's absolutely no way for your second row to also be Battlecry, but it can be any single one of the relics, including the healing ones. So since the healing ones provide no DPS, once again, I omitted them from the list just to make it easier for you guys to compare the different traits. And here's how all the different relic sims, if you were just to pick a trait, it doesn't change your weapon eye level. If I just got 1 more Unrivaled Strength, 1 more Wrath and Fury, what my DPS exactly is. So once again, you guys can see Battlecry Relics is still the king of all of our relic traits. It's at the top with much more sim DPS than all the other traits. Really, for our traits, it's Unrivaled Strength, Wrath and Fury, and Raging Berserker. I mean, those are really the top 3 traits, and of course, you got Unstoppable and Death Dealer there kind of rounding it out. Wall Slashes, Pulse of Battle, Uncontrolled Rage, they don't really increase your DPS that much. Now, Uncontrolled Rage could increase it a little bit more in Impulsive Battle, since you're not really charging as much in a sim DPS fight, but in a real encounter, you might be charging more. So definitely take that with a grain of salt. Also, all of these sims are all done with my current character, so your mileage on all of these traits may vary, just to give you guys, full discretion of what traits I'm currently have. So I currently already have, a Raging Berserker, I currently have a Rival Strength, and I currently have an Unstoppable. right? You guys can see my stats and how that might be affecting it. I do have relatively high haste versus how much mastery I have. So that could be showing mastery as more value than haste for certain things. But with that being said, as always, I do recommend that you guys simulate your own characters with these traits and see what traits works out the best for you. I know, of course, simulating this is kind of difficult at the moment. So to help you guys simulate your characters, I'm going to include a couple links down below. You guys can click on them, open the Google Docs, copy my APL and all of my copies of all the different relics, and then just change it with your own character's gear and talents, and see exactly for yourself and your own character, which traits could be the best DPS for you. Just to show you guys really quickly what I mean by this, so right here, if when you guys click on one of the links, you guys will see this APL. I'll have a Crucible, Light, and Shadow, and I'll also have a Relic one, so you guys can see, what Light and Shadow traits are best for you, and also what Relics are best for you guys. You guys will see this is with my character. I've changed the APL around a little bit. It does around, I think, like 8,000 to 10,000 more DPS than the default one. It mainly changes like one or two things in Execute phase and also in Battle Cry, but everything that's in this APL is in line with everything that I say, in my 7.2.5 guide, which is still exactly the same as 7.3, so no changes there. So at the bottom here, I've already included all the different light and shadow traits. So to help you guys simulate, all you have to do is go back to your WoW, make sure you have the Simulation Craft add-on installed, type /sim-c. First, you're going to copy this top thing that includes, your character's race and your character's artifact weapon and your spec. Copy that portion, come over here, take this part, the part that has my character, and replace it with your own character. And then also you want to change the gear set too. So right here, everything from the head down to the offhand. So you want to copy all of this too. Take that, go back, and then go to the very bottom here, where my current APL has all my gear. Delete what my current set is and replace it with your own. And then all you do after that is Control A, copy everything, open up your simulation craft right here. Right, go to the Simulate tab, open a new tab, paste everything, hit Simulate, and then you're going to get a result something like this, and it'll show you live will be your character, and then you guys can see for your character exactly which sims the best for you based on either the traits or the relics. Now, hopefully, this should help with you guys in figuring out what traits you guys should be putting into the Netherlight Crucible. Now, it definitely is very important you guys sim all of this before you do it, because currently there are no takebacks on the Netherlight Crucible. Once you pick a Shadow or Light trait and then you pick a second relic trait, there is no going back, so you're kind of stuck with your decision. So you definitely want to be really confident that the choices that you're making are going to be the best DPS for your character. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to the Warlock in our guild, Pip/Fion, who helped me understand exactly how to sim all of these different traits. So big thanks to him for providing this list of the light and shadow traits. And unfortunately, this whole Netherlight Crucible thing is a bit RNG, right? If you're not going to get the best shadow or light traits, it's unfortunate. If you're not going to get the best relics, it's unfortunate. If your best light and shadow trait doesn't go to your battle cry trait, that's unfortunate. So there is a few stages of RNG that's involved here, but all I can say is good luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys roll really good traits. As always, let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to see more content. See ya!